And what I've heard is that no provision is there for fresh subsidy. So fresh subsidy is gone.
This pronouncement was received with mixed reactions.
It seems that Nigeria trusted this government. Everybody tries to adjust as well as, manage the situation.
It has been hectic, it has been very bad, and personally, it has not been easy.
Mr. President played a very vital role in telling us earlier, so it's a nice one.
We're not saying that, they should not remove it, but it's a good, policy, but they should bring in something that at least can make the masses feel that, yes, there is relief.
But what does this pronouncement mean for Nigeria's agricultural sector? Actors across the agricultural value chain had a lot to say, and we'll be hearing from them in this video. But before we hear from them, let's take a journey through all that happened shortly after the removal of fuel subsidy on May 29. First, the official fuel pump price was at 167 naira per litre, then increased to 194 naira per litre. But after the removal of fuel subsidy, it increased between 480 naira to 570 naira, and currently it stands at 670 naira per litre.
So based on the Petroleum Industry Act, before the PIA, there was, direct sale, direct purchase agreement for PMS where NNPC had companies. It gave license to do a crude oil swap in exchange for delivery of PMS, and NNPC was 100% responsible for all the PMS that was consumed in Nigeria. Post deregulation, you have a situation now where PIA limits NNPC to control only 30% of the market, which means that, number one, the uniformity in price that Nigerians have typically experienced is gone. And the uniformity that Nigerians had experienced was basically due to the fact that there was what they call the Petroleum Equalization Fund that provided like a buffer for distribution of PMS from bulk storage terminals in Onne, in Calabar, and in Lagos, in Tinkan and Apapa Wharf. So with that PIF gone, it means that you're not going to have that uniform distribution of price around the country.
Consequently, transport fares and prices of essential goods and services shot up significantly across the country as Nigerians grappled with the ripple effect of the government's decision on fuel subsidy removal.
Honestly, this has been an issue since the increment came into place. It has really affected virtually all of my activities. Sometimes when I try to get things, even on my own, something that minimally I can even get for 500 naira, now getting there, they call it for you 1,000 naira, 1,500. And all their reasons are basically because of the increment in fuel and this and that.
Everything in the market has really gone up. That's really gone up. Like what we used to buy maybe like 300 naira before, I can say that I'm getting it for 400 naira now.
When after removal of subsidy, the price of foodstuff and commodities skyrocketed. As of before, a bag of maize will reach me from first day of the month up to the last day of the month. But recently, I have to adjust.
It's a virtual order. I wanted to cook rice and beans. Dig it. So even when he gave me the 200 naira paper, it was like I got. That was most annoying part among all the food stuff. But I couldn't believe pepper would just be that expensive.
Everything is very, very high, and keep on going. Each day, what you buy today is not what you buy tomorrow. What you buy tomorrow is not what you buy next tomorrow. Just like that. And I found out that in Nigeria, nothing goes up constant. Instead, they keep on increasing.
Normally, I do bulk buying in the food, but I was surprised last week I went to buy food stock. I spent over 100 and something to buy a bag of rice, a few beans, something that I use like 70, 75. I end up spending 125,000.
Now, how will this impact and how has this impacted on the prices? Food inflation is up to about 24.4%. I believe those numbers are more. I believe the numbers are somewhere around 28 or 29%. What's happened basically is that you've seen an increase in the price of food and an increase in the price of transportation, especially these two primary areas that are very, very much affected because they form, in a way, the basket for calculating of cost price index for inflation that is reported by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics.
But how did the hike in food prices come about, and how did it impact the agricultural value chain?
First, in the area of processing, it has affected our cost of production, because I just produced recently and I got to find out that it tripled, not just doubled, it tripled my cost of production, thereby having adverse effect on my cost units per product. That means if I was once selling for 2,000 for a pack of plantain flour, now I sell it for 2,003.
We have fish farming. This fish farming, you pump water. The electricity is not something to write home about here. For you to pump water, you see the ponds are very big. So when you pump water, you will use up to 2-3 gallons. One of the pond will not be okay. And you discover that the price of the fuel is like ×3 of the initial price, and that one will, send abnormal costs to the normal cost or your expenditure.
That has actually increased that is high cost of production. The first subsidy is 3 times, is 3 times increase to what we have been buying fuel now. And you know what it is. We use fuel to go to all the places that we are going to. Transportation to this place, in and out, is something else. Even take this rice, to carry this rice from here now to where we are going to mill the rice, is also would be very, very high. So it will be triple of what we have been, using before.
Transporters of agricultural produce are not left out of this quagmire.
As this cost now, the thing is it's not easy simple like before simple. This now before you are born it's very normal, but now as the thing costs now, the fuel subsidy on the commodity for the same now, it's no good like that.
The first subsidy is affecting you well. Maybe 1 week I cannot go anywhere.
The first subsidy has already affected the goods because to transport you from state to state, this is a very difficult task, because before, like now, we are using 200 naira to transfer from Abuja here. Now we are spending 600 naira. Look at from 200 naira to 600. I thought the money is almost doubled 2 times. So it's really affecting us.
You see, for the agricultural sector, for example, the problem with the impact of deregulation of price is mostly around the cost of how PMS affects transportation for distribution of inputs, the cost of taking inputs for planting or distributing harvests from the farms down to table.
The farmers from across the country lamented over increments in the cost of farm inputs following the removal of the subsidy.
Fertilizer, what we used to get at times, everything is high. How much to go to market now to go and buy things you cannot fit. Like now for here to Kwali, 200, something of 15 naira.
As of the last time I bought it was within 20 to 23,000 for like 50 kg. Though I'm yet to make a purchase now, but from the feedback I got from farmers, it has increased to, let's say, like around that 40 to 40 something thousand.
I did. The fertilizers has added the price almost ×3.
For some consumers, farmers, and transporters of agricultural produce, they seek cheaper alternatives, but for others, they hang in the balance as their feeding and profits are being threatened.
I used to cook half mudu of rice before for my family. Now I've reduced it to maybe by 1 cup. Instead of cooking 5 cups, I reduce it by 1.
You don't need to ask me whether I have reduced. They don't need to tell you to shift your, adjust your spending. Nobody need to tell you. What you make will tell you how to spend. On my own, I have known Normally in my house, we don't eat. Gari is no more. My children, they don't eat gari much, but I don't have choice than to buy gari in this new food stock I bought.
The cow dog, yes, and even that of the chicken poo, yes, as well, because I even had to talk to a neighbor to help me keep them so that I can use to augment this.
That's why I carry manure, the goat on, goat shit and fowl shit. Now I pack this. I want to go and apply for the manage.
Okay.
I know that you will not reach me up, but I will put the winner, the one that at least get love. This you can do.
So not stay like that. Then when people just begging me, because we are now in relationship to our business, then I will consider so. If the tea can't favor me, I will just spark my motor.
The profit is reducing. The expenses is high, the profit is reducing.
But people still patronizing you like before?
They are no more that patronized because of the cost of the transportation.
While some laud the directive of the government, others felt the government should have put in place adequate plans to cushion the hardship on Nigerians.
On the issue of what the government would have done to alleviate or ameliorate the impact of the removal of PMS subsidy on food prices, the government should have looked at alternatives for energy, especially in gas, compressed natural gas, and how, especially for haulage trucks, that forms a major artery for distribution of food around Nigeria, how you can convert from diesel, to gas, and how these trucks can be retrofitted, or how their engines can be changed to gas engines. This is a major bottleneck.
From reduced fuel pump price to subsidized fertilizer and improved infrastructure, these were some of the demands sought from the government.
What I want the government to do is that since they removed the fuel subsidy, they should put the refinery in place.
They should look at the civil servants to see how they can increase their minimum wage. Since the minimum wage now is 30,000, so they will think of how they can increase it. Maybe they will increase it to 60 to 70,000.
Maybe by introducing a sort of program whereby if the government have food stuff available in their store, they'll put it into the market so that the price of food and commodities will go down.
If they can reduce the price of the fuel so that the common man can easily get what they want from the market.
If they want to, poor masses to benefit from this fuel subsidy removed, they should fix our road. Make sure that electricity, infrastructure, let them fix it.
If they can make electricity available, I don't think anybody will be asking of fuel to do anything in their farm. You will be using electricity.
Continue to collaborate with our stakeholders, those are ministry people. We have a cooperative that will come together, and it's only in having the cooperative that you can be able to speak with one voice. So when we come together, we advocate for inclusion of the Malabo declaration of the 10% of the budget should be set aside for agric, and that's what we always advocate for.
For the price of the fuel to come down, the fuel is too much.
Long-term solutions. Nigeria lacks train tracks. You have vertical train tracks in Nigeria, but you don't have horizontal train tracks in Nigeria that leads from the southeast and the south-south all the way to the southwest. So Nigeria needs to build rail infrastructure.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives weighed in on the issue and called on the federal government to purchase natural gas-powered mass transit buses as palliative measures to mitigate the effect of the removal of petroleum subsidies on the transportation sector. If adhered to, hopefully, this goes a long way to address the food hardship experienced in the country.
Investigations, special reports, analysis, and breaking news. Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform, brings to you every minute stories that helps you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out.